Another day, another story. The story's name is Writer's Journey. If words are removed from the world, the history of human evolution will automatically end. Words are perhaps the greatest human invention and innovation in the world. There was once a writer named Sarah, who had always loved the power of words. As a child, she would spend hours reading books, immersing herself in other worlds, and imagining the characters' lives beyond the page. As she grew older, Sarah's passion for literature only grew stronger, and she began writing stories of her own. Despite her love for writing, Sarah struggled to find success. She submitted countless manuscripts to publishers, only to be rejected time and time again. Frustrated and discouraged, she began to question whether she had what it took to make it as a writer. As Sarah continued to pursue her dream of becoming a published writer, she encountered many obstacles along the way, including a few incidents of misbehavior by publishers. One publisher, in particular, had expressed interest in her latest manuscript, but as the process went on, Sarah began to feel uneasy. The publisher demanded that she make extensive changes to her story, changing the characters and plot to fit their vision of what would sell. Sarah felt that the changes would compromise the integrity of her work and refused to comply. The publisher grew increasingly angry, accusing Sarah of being uncooperative and difficult. Sarah began to feel like she had no power in the situation, like her artistic vision was being stripped away. Eventually, she decided to walk away from the deal, even though it meant giving up a chance at publication. In another incident, Sarah signed a contract with a small publisher who promised to support her book with marketing and publicity efforts. However, as the release date approached, the publisher seemed to lose interest in the project. They failed to provide any meaningful support, leaving Sarah feeling frustrated and unsupported. Despite these setbacks, Sarah refused to give up on her writing dreams. She continued to submit her work to publishers, seeking out those who shared her vision and were willing to support her artistic vision. And while the road was rocky at times, she eventually found success with a publisher who believed in her work and was committed to helping her bring her stories to life. These incidents taught Sarah the importance of standing up for her artistic vision and choosing partners who shared her values and were committed to supporting her work. While she faced many challenges along the way, she never lost sight of her dreams, and her perseverance ultimately paid off in the end. But Sarah refused to give up. She kept writing, pouring her heart and soul onto the page with every word. She took classes and workshops, seeking out feedback from other writers and learning from their experiences. Slowly but surely, her skills improved. One day, Sarah received an email that would change her life. A publisher had read her latest manuscript and wanted to publish it. Overwhelmed with joy, Sarah couldn't believe that her dream was finally coming true. As her book was released, Sarah's life transformed. She began to receive emails and letters from readers, thanking her for bringing her characters to life and inspiring them with her words. Sarah was amazed by the impact that her writing had on others, and she was grateful for the opportunity to share her stories with the world. As Sarah's writing career began to take off, she found herself facing unexpected challenges. She had always imagined that success would bring only happiness and fulfillment, but the reality was more complicated. One particularly difficult incident occurred during a book tour. Sarah was signing copies of her latest novel when a woman approached her, tears streaming down her face. The woman explained that she had just lost her husband to cancer and that Sarah's book had been a source of comfort during his final days. Sarah felt a lump form in her throat as she listened to the woman's story. She had never expected her writing to have such a profound impact on someone's life. As the woman left, Sarah sat down, feeling overwhelmed with emotion. She realized that with success came a new level of responsibility, to connect with her readers on a deep level, and to use her writing to offer hope and healing in the face of life's challenges. Another emotional incident occurred when Sarah received an email from a young girl. The girl had been bullied at school and had contemplated suicide. But after reading one of Sarah's books, she found the strength to keep going. Sarah was deeply moved by the girl's story, and she wrote back, encouraging her to never give up hope and to remember that she was never alone. These experiences taught Sarah that writing was not just a way to tell stories, but also a way to connect with others and offer comfort and support during difficult times. She began to see her writing as a way to make a positive difference in the world, and this realization gave her a new sense of purpose and direction. Despite the emotional toll of these experiences, Sarah continued to write, pouring her heart into every word and hoping that her stories would touch the lives of others in a meaningful way. And as she saw the impact of her words on those around her, she knew that she had found her true calling as a writer. In the years that followed, Sarah continued to write, publishing several more books that resonated with readers around the globe. She traveled to book signings and speaking engagements, sharing her love of literature with others and inspiring them to pursue their passions. Looking back on her journey, Sarah realized that the road to success had been a difficult one, filled with setbacks and rejections. But through it all, she had never given up on her dream. She had continued to write, even when it seemed like no one was listening. And in the end, her perseverance paid off, leading her to a life that was even more fulfilling than she had ever imagined. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel for more stories.